Okay, Assalamu alaikum. Well, in this video, we are discussing pragmatics, and we'll start with the definition of pragmatics. Pragmatics is the study of meaning. That also meaning, semantics, studies the meaning of language. But here, pragmatics study the meaning of the language depending on context. It differs from semantics in terms that it depends on context in order to understand the meaning. What might be actually meant by this word, or so that we can say that it focuses on speaker meaning. So pragmatics consider interpretation by hearer and meaning depends on use. And simply we can differentiate between semantics and pragmatics by asking these two questions. The first thing, which is what is the meaning of X? If you have the word, for example, or of this, we go, what is the meaning of this word? وهذا بنحكي عنه semantics. هاي الكلمة ما معنى هاي الجملة. In pragmatics, we can, for pragmatics, we can ask, what do you mean by X? Or what do you mean by the sentence? Or what do you mean by that word? إن لم نحكي هنا عن السبيكر meaning. هو صح أنا عارفين الكلام اللي انحكى بالضبط هو المعنى الحرفي literal meaning أو semantic meaning، لكن what by that ماذا تقصد بذلك؟ وهذا this is called اللي هو speaker meaning. And meaning here depends on the interpretation by the hearer, and meaning depend on use. طبعا يعني we will discuss different types, what is meant by use or what is meant by context. For example, who speaking to whom, what is the topic, what was the setting, the place or time. Different things affect the meaning in pragmatics. Pragmatics versus semantics. Again, semantics meaning without context, pragmatics meaning in context. For example, the sentence, it's cold here, as if someone complaining about the weather condition in that room or in that place, while in fact it's cold in here. It might be a request for someone else to turn the heating system on, or to close the window, or to do something. Okay, so the first one refers to the semantic meaning, or the first meaning, let's say interpretation, while the second one refers to the pragmatic meaning. What do you mean by this sentence? What do you want? So what is context? Context can be either physical context, the place, the time of the speaking or the interaction, the linguistic context, what was the words, phrases used in that context, and social context. What is the social norms, the conventions, the relationship between the speakers and the interactors. social context. social اللي هو ايش؟ السياق الاجتماعي. Where sentence or and what occasion? This is one. Who said that? To who? What is the relationship between the two speakers or the interlocutors, for example? شو العلاقة ما لكن linguistic context we are describing the words used. They are phrases, they are sentences, the language is formal, the language is informal, it's ambiguous, it's clear, etc. And also physical context, whether this was said during daytime, at night, at, let's say, at some point late at night, or maybe in the early morning or something else, and where? Maybe at someone's house, in the street. All factors affect the meaning directly, for example. Uh, let's say that, for example, if someone says it's 1 after midnight and you are visiting a friend, and that friend says it's 1 after midnight, or he says, oh, it's 1 after midnight now, and you feel that you have to leave. يعني هنا بنحكي عن speaker. طيب كيف هذا how do we interpret the speaker meaning here? We depend on the context. What is context? The place. I'm visiting someone. The time. It's 1 after midnight. Okay. Who is speaking? Friend to a friend. And what is the social distance? It's close relationship. Okay, close relationship. And also, what is the linguistic form used here? Linguistic form here, a description of time. لكن what might be the other linguistic form اللي هو request, which is the embedded meaning.